other things.
Yes. Even his enemies
will have no choice.
Be forced to admit
exactly
that this is a governor with a difference.
Exactly. All right, and let's move straight to our second conversation, shall we? The economic hardship facing Nigerians is worsened by the continuous slide in the value of the Naira. But the fortune of the national currency may soon improve. According to reports, the Naira is projected to stabilize against the United States dollar by the end of the fourth quarter of 2024, finishing the year strongly. This projection comes with a recent macroeconomic report by the First Securities Discount House, FSDH Merchant Bank Limited, titled Priorities for Economic Stability in the Short Term. The report also forecast a rise in foreign exchange inflows to the country, driven by increased policy rates and heightened forex interventions from the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The report highlights the anticipated positive impact of the Dangote refinery's operations, which are expected to significantly reduce pressures on the forex market. So, BK, in the last 1 year, the Naira has tumbled by half of its value against the dollar. You know, exchanging for, I think last year, September, was exchanging for about 748 Naira, and now it is exchanging at 1,600 Naira. Now, BK, with this report, how realistic is this, and also how assuring is this report?
Well, it's channel news. But in our country, I have learned to approach every news, every positive news item with some measure of cautious optimism. Because things don't always pan out the way we expect. Especially when it comes to economic policy, some of the expected derivatives do not come to light. But we've been told that fuel importation, especially PMS, which is the most expensive of the different products of crude oil that we use in the energy sector, accounts for about 40% of our forest needs. Now, the argument is, the belief is, if you don't have to look for all that money that you always commit to fuel importation. It can help you to stabilize your reserves. It can help improve dollar liquidity, because dollar illiquidity is the biggest enabler of the slide in the value of our currency, because the demand is high and we cannot readily meet the demand. There's usually a spike in exchange rate. But if you have enough in stock, that demand will not be that high. People will be able to access the foreign currency that they need, and for that reason, the value of our currency will respond. And that's why people preach that, look, try to do focus on export of goods, produce and all that, so that you can earn enough dollars. If you earn enough dollars, your currency becomes stronger. So the argument is, if we do not have to spend all of the 40% of the dollars that we spend on importing PMS, we will have a good chunk of dollars
to stabilize our
on ground that we can use to keep exchange rate stable and even cause the Naira to appreciate against the dollar. Is all a function of demand and supply.
Okay.
Where there is so much demand compared to supply, prices always go up. It's the same thing with foreign exchange. Where you cannot cope with the demand, definitely exchange rate will not favor us as a country. So they are thinking that they can save that 40% of dollars that we used to spend. So if they save it, it can then be pushed into the foreign exchange market so that we can make dollar much more accessible for manufacturers, for people who want to go to school abroad, for people who want to go to hospitals abroad. People need the dollar for one thing or another. They'll be able to access it without the pains that they are going through now. People are forced to go and source for dollars in the black markets, you know, and it's usually at a rate that is not palatable. So that is one leg of the optimism. Then they anticipate that there will be more CBN intervention.
Okay.
Someone like me who has always demanded for managed float. Managed float will ensure that you do not leave your currency to the vagaries of demand and supply. Where you need to intervene, you intervene strongly to ensure that it does not go beyond a particular point. For example, it will be irresponsible. We are now at like 1,600. And suddenly you can see that it's going towards maybe 2,000. It will be irresponsible to allow it to go to 2,000 or maybe go to 2,000 and say, oh, it's demand and supply. No, that's absolute nonsense. Countries defend their currency with all they've got. Your currency is a measure of your country's pride. What are we talking about? I've talked about the fact that even China manipulates its currency. No one can deny that. The Chinese currency is stronger than the Chinese have left it because they want to use it to boost export so that people can buy their product. Now, their product against some products from other countries of the world, people will buy because they are cheaper. And that's more money for them. So America is complaining that no, these people deliberately undervalue their currency. That's manipulation. So a managed float will ensure that where there is a need, you allow market forces, you do not constantly come in with interventions and all that. But where you see that things are going beyond normal, you intervene. That is what's called a managed float. I'm not against flotation of the currency. I won't eat my words at this stage because people will remember that I said we could do it, because I do not also agree that the way we were defending the currency, the quantum of billions of dollars that we were spending was sustainable.
And it was enriching some people.
I didn't, yes, I know a lot of it will still go into arbitrage and all that. You know, go into the hands of negative people who will make money from it. So, but you've got to intervene on some occasions.
Sure.
And the good thing is our foreign reserves, you can see that it's growing. It's now about 37 billion. They inherited 33 billion. This administration has moved it to 37 billion. When you are able to grow your foreign reserves, they constitute the kind of buffers that you can use when you face the raining day, or when you can see adversity coming, they give you the shock absorber that you can use. So they are confident that as we approach the next quarter, these things will come in, and that there will even be more forex inflows. We need greater forex inflows from diaspora Nigerians and from foreign direct investment, for example, because foreign direct investment will really help us
for capital
to show up
liquidity
in terms of foreign exchange.
I agree with you. We need to go on this break, and when we return, I'm going to be coming to you, Mojeed Jamiu. We talk about forex inflows, but we'll continue with this conversation right after this break. Don't go anywhere. It's still Journalist Hangout. All right, if you just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I'm still here with Mojeed Jamiu and BKO. So, Mojeed, I'm back. We still, despite the improvement in forex inflows, the high interest rate environment, yet the Naira is still very weak against the dollar. Now, looking at this report, what else should the government be doing to strengthen the Naira?
Yeah, if you look at the value of the Naira year to date, according to reports, if you look at the Naira in January was 907.
900, exactly.
And today we are at about 1,600 or thereabout. Yeah, so it's almost about 70% depreciation between just January and now. Like you said earlier, they hope that the Naira would appreciate in value by the last quarter of the year. I'm also looking at it with a cautious optimism, because you look at some parameters, you look at some figures, and you expect that by now we ought to be doing about 1,000 to $1, 1,000 Naira to $1 by now. Especially given the fact that the much anticipated Dangote refinery, I mean, we have had 1 month of local supply now from Dangote refinery. Still, it has not changed anything. We have stopped, or rather we have reduced importation of PMS by up to about, between 40 and 60%, which means the $600 million we are using monthly to import PMS has reduced drastically. So also, coupled with the fact that our foreign exchange, our foreign reserves has grown.
Has also grown.
So these are ratios that should cushion the Naira dollar balance. But you see, some people are hell-bent on making sure that they sabotage any effort. So you see the CBN coming out with statements almost on a daily basis, policy statements. Now they want to do electronic foreign exchange so that they can know where the dollar is actually going to. They want banks to be so transparent. Some of these commercial banks are not helping the system. They are not, yes, they are not helping. See, a situation where the financial system, the banking system is declaring 200, 300% profit year on year, and the real sector is dying, then it calls for question. They have been trading in dollars. That is just the truth. Where are they lending the monies to that is giving them this kind of profits, this huge profits? So the CBN needs to look at that, the utilization of a foreign exchange by the deposit money banks, the commercial banks. The CBN must beam its searchlight on that, because all the efforts being put in place is not reflecting on the value of the Naira on the exchange rate. Because how can Cameroon and Ghana and even Benin Republic be celebrating that their currency is stronger than our own than the Naira? Before, if you take 1,000 Naira across the border, you change it to millions of cedis. Million of CFA.
Exactly.
But now the reverse is the case.
Now, how about persons who deliberately put pressure on our forex market by demanding dollar? Let's say for schools that demand dollar in Nigeria, for houses that demand dollar for house rent, which actually goes against the CBN Act, Section 20, Sub 1 of 2007.
I think the EFCC has made it clear that whoever does that
should be reported.
But it's still
there are some people who tell you to pay for property in dollars.
Dollars in Nigeria.
They should arrest such people. We tolerate nonsense in our country. You can't spend the dollar anywhere in South Africa except in the duty-free shops, maybe in the airport. Nobody will take
or even in China.
You cannot change the currency on the streets. You must go into a proper bureau de change and then change, and they will take your passport. Anywhere in South Africa, whether it's Durban or anywhere, they will take your passport, have a record of it before you can change currency. It's the same thing in Dubai. They will take your passport. They will have a record of it before you can change currency. In our country, they change it on the streets. They change currency.
Go to Ireland there. You will
even
see
places where they were not changing it before. For example, Akute, a run-down place like Akute, they are changing currency in multiple places. It was not like that before. You go to Shaga, they are changing currency. It's now like something that is now properly accepted.
We would think they are like everybody is doing POS now. You would think it is POS.
Yes, it has become POS.
Yes.
People used to ride Okada. They stopped riding Okada. They are into POS.
Yes. But anyway,
once they say little money now, they want to start POS business. People who used to dig borehole, they stop digging borehole. They are doing POS business.
Fast money. All right,
that's the thing. Hopefully, even with this Naira crude for Naira for crude deal, the pressure on the dollar will also come down. Because before now, even marketers who are buying product from Dangote,
they'll have to find dollars.
They find dollars to buy diesel from him, to buy aviation fuel from him. Now the E2 would have to pay NNPC. Before now, pay NNPC in dollars to receive product. But now it does not have to do that. And look at the quantum of business that they are going to be doing with him. So you will be able to save that dollar. So at the end of the day, I think it will affect us. But again, the saboteurs will already be thinking of what they can do to frustrate government's efforts.
All right, let's go to our final conversation.